Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing 2.4 from the trigonometry unit and pre-cal 11. Again, this is a continuation of the pre-cal 12. Remember in 2.3 it was actually 4.1 from the pre-cal 12 book. And again, this is I call it 2.4, which is 4.2 again from the pre-cal 12 section. Those outcomes were moved a few years back. So what we're going to do is we're going to relate everything we learned so far in the trig unit, and we're going to apply it to the unit circle. Alright, so the unit circle is when we have, any equation of any circle is it comes from Pythagorean theorem, really. So it's x squared plus y squared equal to r squared, okay, which is literally comes from this circle. But to get the unit circle, we use the radius of 1, as you can see from your diagram, okay? So the equation of this circle centered at the origin is 0, 0. So there's your center of your circle, the origin. Has a radius of 1 is given by this formula. Okay? So we're going to relate this to trigonometry. So the first one, let's just get familiar with the formula. Determine the equation of a circle. Example 1, write the equation of a circle with the given radius and its center at the origin 0, 0. So if there's 9 units for the radius, we put the radius in as r, and the equation becomes x squared plus y squared equals 81. Next we have root 5 units, so square root of 5 units. So if we put that in for the radius, if you take the square root of anything squared, it's going to be itself. So it ends up being x squared plus y squared equals 5, right? Points of the unit circle. So if we want to determine which point lies on the unit circle, we plug it into the unit circle equation, and we're basically verifying, right? So we want to make sure this side is equal to 1, and it is. So that means that this point here is on this unit circle, right? So if it was negative 5/13 to 12/13, that means it's right here along here. It's directly on, right? If it wasn't, it would be above or below, or inside or outside, I guess. 5, 6, and 1/2. Check that. We get 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, common denominator is 34. It's close, but no, it does not. And this one here, we're determining the point, so it's kind of at a place in the question, but they didn't give us a y value, but they told us quadrant 3, so it tells us we know that the y value is going to be as negative as well. So we just solve for y. So we put in our x value as negative 2/3, becomes 4/9. Take the 4/9 to the other side. 1 becomes 9/9. Subtract 4/9 equals 5/9. Take the square root of both sides. We get the square root of 5/3. It's plus or minus, but since it's quadrant 3, which we know is negative, negative, means the y value is negative. So the answer would be, to make this satisfy, that would be there, right? So that's just another type of question you could have, probably like a multiple choice or selected response or something like that. So recall the special triangles. We did these. Remember, we talked about them briefly in 2.2 with cast. So I just drew them quickly up here for you. All right, so the 45, 45, 90 and 30, 60, 90. So in doing so, if we're looking for the point that's at negative 36 degrees, so I have to draw negative 36 degrees, which would be 300 here, right? So there's my reference angle. Reference angle would also be 60 degrees. So I get these values from the square, right? For 60. So look, there's 60 degrees. So the opposite side of 60, right, is root 3/2. Okay? And remember, to get these, your x value, all right, your x value comes from the cos, and your y value comes from the sine. All right. So if you recall, back up in the results here, okay. There we go. So we got to remember, tan is y over x, and sine is y, and cos is x. Okay. So just recall that. And we'll get back to where we were at, right? So again, another way to indicate these, like I said, is you can go to your page there. As long as you get your reference angle with 60, you can figure out this point, and I'll show you. Right here, though, there's 300. So it's 1/2 and negative root 3 over 2 as indicators in the 1/2 negative root 3 over 2. Now 270 is easy, it lands right on there, so it's just 0, negative 1. Negative pi over 4, that's like negative 45 degrees, so it's a 45 degrees there, so it's right at 315. So that's root 2 over 2 and negative root 2 over 2. So that just kind of goes back to drawing your angle. So remember, 315 degrees, negative 45, they're equivalent, which is equal to 7 pi over 4, and you have your root 2 over 2, negative root 2 over 2. So you can just use this for now. We'll talk more about what the special triangles represent in pre-cal 12. But for now, just identify them off here is perfect. Okay? And the next one, we have 7 pi over 6, which we know we can change that to 210 degrees. So reference angle ends up being 30. And there's your angles there. So let's take a look. So 210, negative root 3 over 2, and negative 1/2. And that's equal to 7 pi over 6, right? So this will really help you until you get a real understanding of what those triangles represent. So always refer back to this. You will get this. This is literally a formula sheet that I will provide you with for any assessments, okay? And the next one is you're given the points, so you just got to find the angle. So literally you just got to go. Now remember, if these are the same, right, absolute value. So if we have root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2, whether they're positive or negative or not, you know that they're going to be exactly on 45-degree angle, reference angles, okay? So if it's negative, positive, we know that's quadrant 2, so there's the 45, so we know we're talking about 135 degrees or 3 pi over 2, depending on what they ask for. Again, just referring back to here, it's root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. 3 has pi, 135, right? It's right there, okay? Next one is negative 1 and 0. So negative 1 and 0, that point's right here on your coordinate system, so we know that's 180 degrees, or as in radians, it's just pi, radians are pi. Okay? Next one, negative 1/2 and root 3 over 2. So here we know, and again, like root 3 over 2 is larger, so you can tell you that your point's going to be further down than it is to the left, right? Because it's a bigger value. Anyway, these are some, again, these are perfect exact values on the unit circle. They land at 240 or 4/3 pi. Again, just you're able to obtain that right from here. Okay. What was it again? Sorry. Negative 1/2. So negative 1/2, negative root 3 over 2, which is 4/3 pi and 240. And then the last one we have root 3 over 2 and 1/2. So that's, remember, this is an x value, this is the y value, right? So all the way over here, up here, so this is actually going to be, it should be 30 degrees. That's a typo. I'll fix that. That should be 30 degrees of pi over 6, not 300. It's an extra 0. I'll fix that now. So there's textbook questions there. And again, they come from the pre-cal 12 textbook, which is online. And that's page 186, 126, 9BD, 13, 4, 15 A and B. All right, so that's it for the trigonometry unit. All right, so next we're going to move into chapter 6, rational equations and expressions. All right, so everybody, thanks for watching. And like I said, I'll go over this again in class with you, of course. But these are, in case you weren't there, I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you very much.